what's good YouTube? It's your boy here, back at it again with another video. I'm gonna be adding some drums to this melody that I cooked up in the last video. If you like it, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I kind of already have the melody made. We'll put a link to the last video if you want to see like how I made this. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of maybe add a couple changes to the melody, change out like some of the sounds or something, and then add some drums for this. So this is how it sounds right now. Cool, so that's like the basic melody. For this, I usually like to start on the drums once I kind of have like the melody going, so this would be sort of like, the time when I would start it. I'm doing this a little bit differently than I would, but for the sake of the video, I just wanted to do it like one step at a time. When I'm doing these types of drums, I like to start with the perks, and then kind of add like the kick and the clap at the end. So I'll usually start with like the cymbal, and then have like a hi-hat loaded up too. So I'll probably start with like the two-step hi-hat. Cool. So you really just you want to try and keep it simple, especially when it comes to the hi-hats and stuff. A lot of people will be doing too much on the hi-hats. Just want like a simple pattern that people can follow. Got this a little stomp loaded up too. It's from this Kenny Beats kit that I have. But I like this stomp. Cool. I'm gonna use Alt Q to change the velocities on these. Add like a little snare too. Hopefully the volumes are good on this. Sorry if the beat is kind of like too loud or too quiet. I'm still getting the video recording thing now. Another good tip when you're making beats, don't focus too much on one area. Like, don't do too much of this, like going back and replaying like the same exact spot. Try and listen to things like in context. Like, I'll let the whole beat loop and kind of play out. I'm trying to add some of these instruments just so I can hear the way it's going to actually sound. Like, don't focus in too much on like one little tiny like snare or hi-hat roll, and focus for too long on like trying to make it sound extra cool or whatever. Trust me, no one's gonna hear it. No one cares that you zoomed in, super close and chopped up these hi-hats to sound cool. Just listen to the whole thing, try and keep it simple, and you know, make something that bounces. Cool. So it's sounding kind of cool. This is a little perk sound. I like to use this a lot in these types of beats. Cool, and then I got the famous scratch noise. There we go, that sounds cool. And I'm gonna add like a little thing with the cymbals too. One of the last things I wanted to add was an 808 in this. This is one I like to use a lot. Simple one, it's just like a basic 808. I use this Ounce kit a lot too. Shoutouts to Ounce. If you want like some good drum sounds, I use his kits all the time, like probably every day. Cool. So I want to add this bass line, but I don't want it to like clash with the bass that I already have. And so I'm probably gonna like take this out when the beat drops. It's gonna switch to like a different bass sound. But I want it to still kind of follow like the pattern that we already have going and stuff. Peace. Then I'm gonna just listen just to the drums here. And I'm gonna highlight all these and hold Alt and then pull these all the way back. When the note is shortened all the way like that, it'll make the sample play like all the way until the end, unless you have it set to cut right here. So this is playing the same pattern right now that we did on the bass. For like an 808 kind of bass, this is sort of a little much. So I'm going to kind of take out some of the notes and make the pattern a little simple, but still have it follow like that other bass line so that they can play together potentially. And then I'm gonna layer the 808 with the kick too. I'll shorten that 808 a little bit. Cool. So I like that bass sound that we have, but I don't think I'm gonna play it at the same time with the drums. It's a little too different. Yeah, but this is still gonna sound cool either way. I already kind of have like the vision for how I'm gonna lay out the beat. Let's see. So like I was saying before, these type of beats, I try and kind of get all like the percussion and the bass sort of like moving and stuff before I add in the clap. There's not like a right or wrong way to do this. This is just kind of how I like to do it. And in this type of music, I sort of imagine like the kick and the bass are sort of like the main instruments of the sound. So that's kind of what's like creating like the rhythm and the groove of the track, rather than it being like um, like the clap and the hi-hats and stuff like it would be in kind of like a trap sort of beat. I don't know, the sounds are kind of like working differently. But I got most of the sounds I want to add, so I'm gonna split the channel and kind of start laying this out a little bit. Cool. So this part right here is going to be kind of the hook, and then this section here is going to be sort of, well, this is going to be like the intro, and this is going to be kind of like an intro slash verse part, depending on kind of how the artist wants to do the song and stuff. And so I usually like to start with like no instruments and then bring them in over here, like when it comes to the drums. It's just preference though, like sometimes you can start off with the drums, it's whatever. I'm actually going to make this pattern unique, and we're going to add another extra roll in here. I think this will sound cool when the beat drops. I'm also going to put a little effect in there too, riser. I'm feeling this, like the drop for it. It's sounding pretty hard, but it's not like too crazy. The only thing I'm not really feeling right now is this bell sound, so I'm gonna mess with this a little bit and see if I can change up the pattern or like the sound or do something with it. I'm gonna solo the melody with the bass and stuff. Quick. Should sound good. Yeah, cool. I like that better than the pattern that we had before. Cool, and then I just extended the note on this 808 so that it doesn't go on after the pattern ends, because I'm going to bring back in this bass line. So check this out. If I were to leave these both short, it's gonna like clash with the bass line here. Yeah, it comes in for a second, but this one is still playing past the end. So when you have the your envelope set up like this, which I like to do on 808s, you want to cut the notes off like this. Cool. So this section here is going to be the beginning of the verse. Personally, I like to kind of change the beat up a little bit, like either the rhythm or just like drop out some of the instruments and stuff like that, just to give the beat like a good little change up. And I'm gonna mess with this bass sound too. It sounds a little ugly. Sounds kind of weird in my headphones. Let's see, actually just EQ it. Cool, that's a little bit better. I don't want to go too much on like the mixing and stuff right now. Like I was saying before, this part is going to be kind of the verse over here. I like to do like an 8-bar verse, honestly, like this length here, and then I'm going to do another like pre-chorus part that's similar to this section here. I mean, it's all preference. A lot of the songs I hear nowadays, though, they're doing like pretty short verses and then have like a pre-chorus section. But if you wanted to, you could just like double this part and maybe change it up a little bit to extend the verse, like if you did want to, or if like, you know, like an artist wanted a longer verse. Personally, for me though, like when it comes to a beat, I like it to just kind of move as much as possible. Like an artist can always edit the layout of the beat later. Like I want them to kind of hear all the different like sections and stuff that are in the beat before they get kind of like bored of listening to it and stuff. But I'm gonna bring back in the lead on this part here, that little sine lead part, and then I'm gonna do something with the bass. I might bring back in the 808 or something. I'm not sure. So bring in these little hi-hat rolls at the end too. It'll sound cool. Cool. And honestly, that is pretty much it, guys. At least for the way that I like to like kind of add the drums and lay out the beats, I'm pretty much just going to copy and paste this part, this whole section here. And now you have 3 hooks, right here, here, and here, and then 2 verses, right? Which is like a pretty normal layout for most songs. If you wanted to, you could extend it. You could add like 1 more verse, or you could add a part where the beat breaks down and then comes back into like another hook. It's all preference. I mean, if you're kind of like interested in learning about song layouts, I would say just listen to like popular songs that you like, or listen to like other producers that you like, the way that they lay out their beats and stuff. For this, I would maybe change up this section here, like instead of having the kick in here, maybe bring in like the 808 and like the snap. This might sound cool. Yeah, I like how that sounds. But yeah, when it comes to the layouts, just kind of, I would say have like a vision of how you want to lay it out. For instance, like I said before, I like to do like an intro. The second part, is kind of like, it could be like a verse or just like a long intro, hook, verse, hook, verse. It's pretty like standard. And then once you kind of have like the way that you want to have it laid out, then that's when you get kind of creative with like taking stuff out and changing up little sections like this. If you want to like take a snap out or a clap, or go into more of the patterns and make them unique and add in like some change ups and stuff like that. That's what I would recommend. It kind of just makes like the whole process a little bit easier. But yeah, like I mentioned in my last video, this is just the way that I like to do this stuff. Like there's no right or wrong, like I'm just showing you guys what works for me, and then you can take that information and do like whatever you want with it. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of it though when it comes to adding drums. Another tip I would say is have some kind of like go-to sounds that you like. Like most of these sounds I chose, I already knew I was going to use them as soon as I opened up this project, because I know the type of beat that it is, and I know that these drum sounds, I've used them in a bunch of other beats. I've sold a bunch of beats with them, so I know that people who, like want this type of beat or whatever, they're going to like these types of sounds that are in it. I used to kind of like feel like, every single beat I needed to make it different, and I had to use like new sounds that no one else has used and blah 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 whatever. And that's really not true, man. Like, I mean, it's good to have unique sounds, of course, but it's also not a bad thing to have like certain ones that are like go-to sounds, for you. So that's just like a little tip that I've learned like over the years, and it speeds things up like a lot. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm about to wrap it up. Drop a comment. I might do one more tutorial with this beat and mix it too, if people are feeling it. But I had a lot of people that wanted to see the drums and stuff, so this is it. Yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. Drop the like, drop the comment, drop the sub. Appreciate that too. Let me know what you want to see in the next video, and peace.